video. Can you believe it? Did you think that I was gone forever? Well, I knew that I wouldn't be. I just really do love filming videos and sharing my recipes with you guys so much. So here I am back again, and it's just gonna be a little bit different because I'm not trying to go at it in such a way that I was before. I just really like filming videos and I like sharing my recipes. So with that, I'm going to share with you today a recipe for pasta Panang. And it's basically like a, sort of like a pad thai noodle with all kinds of veggies in there, and it's got this spicy, creamy peanut sauce. It is so good. I'm like obsessed with it lately. I've been eating it quite a lot, so I figured, you know what? I love this recipe so much. Let me show you guys how to make it. Basically, this recipe has been with me for quite a long time. If you guys know anything about my background, my first job out of culinary school, I was a pastry chef for a catering company in Princeton, New Jersey. And so this was a really big company, and I worked in a commissary kitchen. So I was in the pastry department. It was this giant like warehouse style kitchen. So the chefs were on one side and the pastry was on the other side. But every day for lunch, we would have family meal. And so the chefs would prepare for us sometimes what they were serving in the catering for like catered parties or at the restaurant, and sometimes they would just kind of come up with their own recipes and serve us that way. But one of my favorite recipes was for this pasta Panang, and of course they put chicken in it, and I'm not going to be doing that because I'm veganizing this naturally. But actually, I probably could use the Gardein chicken, unless you guys aren't into like the fake processed meat. You can totally leave that out. I've been just doing it straight up vegetables, and I love it so much. But it wouldn't be terrible to actually add in that, you know, like the seitan chicken or something like that to sort of make it a true chicken Panang. So what I'm doing over here is just preparing the sauce first of all, and I had some water, I put some soy sauce, then I put some agave. You could use maple syrup if you have that instead. And I'm putting in the sriracha, and that's what makes it really spicy. And then I'm adding in the peanut butter, which is what makes it a spicy Thai peanut sauce. I had melted my peanut butter ahead of time, but it took me so incredibly long to set up for this video. Ooh, not only because I haven't in quite a while, but I got some new lights. Let me make sure I'm in there. I got some new lights because everything that I was using was just falling apart anyway, which added to a lot of my frustration back in my December video of like, all right, what really am I doing? So if you guys are interested to watch that whole thing, I'll definitely link it below. You could just click through to that video and see what's going on. What are you doing down there? So anyway, yeah, I had to get some new lights. My tripods were breaking, and so I wanted to do this first video back with something easier, which is definitely a food video. And the kitten is playing with the tripod now, and that's why the camera is wobbling all over the place. I am adding a little bit of oil to this sauce. I really think you can totally leave the oil out of this recipe. I have been so trying to healthy up my recipes lately. At this age, I'm telling you guys, I cannot lose a pound. This all started for me almost 2 years ago when I got the herniated discs in my back. That for me was like everything just started going downhill because I couldn't work out the way that I used to. So obviously I can't eat the way that I used to, but it took me a little while, over a year, to actually figure that out, and I piled on the weight. And so I have been trying to really just healthy up my recipes. I'm trying to really cook with no oil. I put 4 tablespoons of oil into this sauce recipe, but this is gonna serve over 4 people. Like, all right, 4 people. or 2 if you're me and you're really hungry. But so like honestly, 1 tablespoon of oil per serving I don't think is really too terrible. And like I said, I think you could leave it out, and there is fat in the peanut butter, of course. So I mean, it's not like a super no fat recipe, but I've been getting real into like doing the nutritional breakdown too for my recipe, so I'm going to leave that at the end of this video too. And of course, the recipe is going to be at gretchensveganbakery.com, and just click the link below. So anyway, I'm making this sauce, which was just soy sauce, sriracha. I had a little bit of water. It was peanut butter, a little bit of oil, and I'm going to put some garlic in it now too. So the noodles that I'm using, I like to use brown rice noodles. Like I said, I try to kind of healthy things up a little bit. I have brown rice noodles here that are fettuccine style, and also like what you would use for pad thai. But again, you can use even spaghetti or any noodle that you really like. And I do have my pot of water already boiling that has been generously salted. So I'm gonna get these cooking and then start chopping up my vegetables, and we are almost done. So for my vegetables that I'm putting in, it's going to be celery. I've got a bunch of different colored peppers here, red, yellow, orange, green. I've got some carrots that are chopped up, and I did all of mine sort of like julienne style. I just like it that way in this dish better than chopped, but it's way easier to just chop it up and throw it all in. You don't have to overthink this at all. The only thing that I do cut a little bit differently is the celery. I do that sort of like on a little biased so that the slice is more like this. So what I started to say about this recipe is that I got this from the chefs that were serving. This was actually served in the restaurant of the catering company. The catering company had a restaurant, the bistro restaurant, a small little cafe, coffee shop, and they did catering all over Princeton. It was a huge, giant company. This was back in like the mid to late 90s. And so this recipe was in like 5 gallons when I was like, oh, can I get this recipe? I love this so much. So naturally, all of the recipes were in like 5-gallon recipes, like huge recipes, because we did catering and restaurant and just like such a huge business. So, you know, and that's actually how I got my start on YouTube as well. If you guys have been following me even that long, was back when I had my bakery, and all of my recipes were in such huge quantities, and so I started scaling them down to share with you guys for home use, and that's sort of how it all started. But when I worked for the catering company, that was my most fabulous, wonderful job. Like that was like the best time of my life. I loved that job so much. And oh man, that goes back so many years ago. Like even more than owning my bakery, I loved working for that catering company. That was like the highlight of my life. So, okay, you saw that I have some red cabbage here that I cut up as well. I've got my celery, all my different colored peppers, and some carrots too. And the only thing I forgot was to get that onion. So I got these new lights and I'm just kind of working through this, and that's another reason, like I said, why I wanted to start with a food recipe for my first video back, because I'm still just trying to get used to the setup, but I needed new lights. I needed to kind of downsize a bit. My setup before, when I was going at this as a business, was just such a monstrosity. It was just such a project, and not that this wasn't a project, because I literally started out to film this video at 4 o'clock and it's now going on 8 o'clock, just trying to figure out the lighting. I had to go buy another tripod. Like, just it's no matter what, like trying to do this and film videos and make it worth anybody watching, it's a production. But again, what I'm saying is I do love doing it, and I just really wanted to share this really awesome recipe with you guys. So I've got my water boiling, I've got all my veggies chopped, I have my sauce made, and like that's it. It'll be ready in less than 10 minutes. All right, so my pasta has been boiled. It's in waiting. Now I'm gonna start to saute up these veggies. And like I said, I'm really trying to stay away from using oil in my cooking. There was a minimal amount in that sauce that you saw that I made. But I really find that, especially when cooking vegetables, they have enough moisture in them that you really don't need the oil to get them to start cooking down. Just kind of get a lid on that and let it steam for a little bit. I'm going to pour a little bit of vegetable stock in there just to kind of help it steam up a little bit. So that's been about 5 minutes, and the vegetables are still really al dente, especially the peppers and the celery, but I do like my vegetables al dente and not like cooked to hell that you don't even know what they are anymore. But feel free to continue cooking or cook them al dente as you wish. But now that it's been halfway through the cooking, I'm going to add in the red cabbage now because that actually cooks the fastest. Now I'm just making a little well in the center. You can pour in that sauce. Next goes the pasta. This is a giant pot of delicious creamy peanut Thai pasta. All right, I'm not going to eat this whole pot, but believe me, I could. This recipe is so good. What I forgot to mention when I was cooking it is that at the end, I do like to add some rice vinegar to the whole entire thing. Maybe just like 1 to 2 tablespoons, really. It really brightens it up. It just really adds that special something. If you don't have rice vinegar, you could definitely just use some white vinegar, or even apple cider vinegar would be totally fine. But yeah, that's it. And I'm not going to add the fake chicken to it, even though I think it would be great. I really am trying to stay away from a lot of the processed. I do love Gardein products so much, but it really is kind of like junk food. Sorry, Gardein. It's delicious, but you know, that's what I was trying to say before, is that you know, ever since I hurt my back, I can't work out the way that I used to. I'm getting older. And I really just have to, I just really have to like get a grip. And so just by being back here on videos with you guys, like I said, I'm not doing it in any kind of way to like make this like my business or anything. But it is fun for me, and I do love connecting with you guys. And it's going to be a good way to track my progress. I look back on older videos, like I am such a yo-yo with my diet and just, I think, life in general. I'm just always all over the map, and it's like a roller coaster. And so when I look back on videos that I did just years ago, you know, it's life, guys, right? Like you can track that in your own life with, you know, pictures or whatever. And so I started working out again with my cousin. We're doing like 4 or 5 days a week, so we just started doing that. I'm really trying to get a grip on my diet and my eating, and so even though I'm right out of the gate with this one, and this is a food video, be sure that I will be back with some cake recipes. I have some ideas for some new baking and cake recipes coming up soon. So don't worry, it's not just going to be like this. But I really do love cooking food, and it's so delicious, and I hope you guys do want to try this recipe. So what I do have over here, and this is what I add on per serving. I have some chopped up peanuts that I add, and I really should be filming this. Oh God, it's such a project with this lighting and stuff. But thanks to you guys, my patrons and my PayPal pals and my patrons on Patreon, I was able to buy the new tripod and the new lights, and just really trying to kind of figure out this new setup. And you know, if I can make it a little bit easier for me. Oh look, I'm not even filming it. Let me see. I mean, right? Like, look at this whole setup just to try to film a video by yourself. Like, this is what I was saying, you guys. It's like, it's craziness. Just what goes into making a 4 or 5 minute video. And I'm tired and I'm doing it all by myself. And so that's why I'm just so like, all right, whatever. They're going to see this whole monstrosity setup and I don't care. Because this recipe is awesome. And it doesn't matter that there's like all this chaos and lights in my face. I want you to try this recipe because I think you're really going to like it. All right, so that's it. I put some green onions, some scallions, and some sesame seeds and some chopped peanuts. And that there is my delicious pasta Panang from my many years ago when my first job out of school. So this recipe has been with me for a really long time, scaled down from like 5 gallons so that I can share it with you guys and make it for myself, of course, at home. The recipe will be at Gretchen's veganbakery.com. The link is going to be below. All right, you guys get the idea, right? Let me shut this off. Oh my God, I'm like sweating. Yeah, 45 ain't no joke. I'm like sweating. I'm constantly red. I look like a baby hamster half the time. It's like my blood pressure's up, but my blood pressure is good. I'm just going through like this thing right now. Hot flashes, sweat. Please believe me, it is not fun. I do know how to use chopsticks. I promise you that I do. It's just hard to eat this meal with chopsticks, but I'm gonna try to do it for you. All right. Peanutty, a little bit of kick at the end. You can definitely add more sriracha if that's the kind of person you are. I think I probably would because I do love spicy, but I wanted to kind of keep it, you know, like at a medium level. So if you love hot and spicy, you can probably kick that up to, I'd say 2.5 to 3 tablespoons rather than the base 2. And if you don't like spicy, then, you know, I would say maybe just even 1 tablespoon will not be too offensive. I've switched to a fork. It's so good. It really doesn't need the extra chicken, fake chicken in there, but it would be a nice touch. And I think if you're feeding carnivores, you might want to add in the Gardein chicken strips, I think it's called. It's like their teriyaki style. And you can kind of cook that first, then take it out of the pan, set it aside, and then proceed with the recipe like I showed you. So yeah, that's it. I do love this. I'm going to give you the nutritional breakdown too, because I really have been trying to track my calories. I'm trying to stay under like 1,200 calories a day because that could keep me on target for losing a pound a week. I haven't lost like a single ounce. I don't know what is going on. I'm really cutting back on my sugar. I'm really cutting back on the amount of oil that I'm eating. I'm cutting back on the amounts that I'm eating. I'm trying to work out the best that I can with this breaking down body of mine. And man, guys, it is rough at this age. I mean, I want to blame it on the age because I feel like I'm kind of doing the rest of the stuff right. All right, I probably could do better. And I will. I'll get a grip on it. And so we're going to track my progress here with these videos. And so it's sort of going to keep me accountable to stick to, you know, just wanting to get to the place that I want to get to. And in the meantime, too, I've been studying for my personal training certification. So that's sort of keeping me focused and keeping me on a good path. So I'm excited. I'm going to keep doing videos like this. I don't care really how this comes off because I'm doing it for me. If you guys want to hang out with me here and watch me make food and eat food, by all means, join me here again. I am going to have a new baking video coming out soon. I have a recipe that I want to share with you guys for a grasshopper cheesecake. St. Patrick's Day is going to be here. I know we didn't even get to Valentine's Day yet, and I'm already like, forget about it. There's no way I'm getting anything done for Valentine's Day within the next week. So I already have my sights on St. Patrick's Day. So I have a really great recipe for a I almost said a Saint Grasshopper, for a Saint, maybe I'll call it that, Saint Grasshopper cheesecake. Oh God, people are gonna like freak out, all the Catholics. What do you mean Saint Grasshopper? But yeah, so I don't know, guys, like I'm just sort of like whatever with this whole thing. I do love filming videos. I do love sharing with you guys, and I'm just gonna have fun with it. So yeah, I guess that's about it for tonight. I hope you will make this recipe. I hope to see you guys again soon. If anybody wants to come clean this kitchen now, it's chaos in here. I don't make such a giant mess when I'm not filming. When I'm just cooking regular, like I'm so much more, I don't know, efficient, but like there's so much going on with the lights and the cameras and all of just everything happening and trying to just, you know, I don't know, whatever. It is what it is. Go make this recipe. I'll see you guys again soon. Bye.
Oh, hi, little cutie. Who is this cute kitty now? Who is this cute new little baby? Who is this now? What is going on in here? This is the new baby, and she's so mean.
All right, everybody, thanks for watching my video. I did have a lot of fun with it, which is really the whole point of me being on YouTube in the first place. So I am going to continue it. I did just want to come on and do a quick disclaimer though, because as I watched the playback to do the edit for this video, I was like, what the heck? I haven't done a video in a month, and now I forgot where to look in the camera. I realized this whole entire video I was not even looking in the camera, so I do apologize for that. It brings me back to my early days of filming where I just was like, had no idea what I was doing. So I guess all of a sudden I have no idea what I'm doing again. Anyway, so yeah, and my audio, I don't know what was up with my microphone this time, but it was blaring, so I couldn't use that audio track. So it's just the audio from the camera, and I did forget to turn the iPhone on a couple of times. So it's a learning curve. I'm just like, you know, I don't know. It is what it is. It's a good recipe though, guys, so I really do hope that you want to try it. And thanks again to all my patrons and PayPal pals, as always, for helping me get some of this new equipment. I just have to learn how to use it again. So if you think that you can help support me through Patreon or on PayPal, I would really appreciate it. I'm actually thinking about doing some live Q&A, like imagine that. I can't even figure out the camera when it's not live, so imagine how that chaos is gonna go. But I'm actually considering doing some live Q&A for patrons, sort of like a special little thing to just connect with you guys more and really say thank you. So if that's something that you would want to see in the future, thumbs up. Let me know, comment below, let me know what you thought of this style video. Actually, I don't really care. I do care, but I don't, because I'm doing this for me and I had a lot of fun with it and I want to keep on doing it. So you will see me again soon for the Saint Grasshopper cheesecake. Stay tuned.